ArsenalFanTV, time to get into the player ratings. The game is done. Arsenal 1, Östersunds 2. You believe that's scoreline?
It's embarrassing, Robbie. That's all I can say. It's not good enough.
Huh?
It's not good enough. Come on. I know we're through, but the fact is we lost 2.
Well, I've got
a team who no one heard of before 1 month ago. No one had heard of them, all right, until a month ago. And we lost them at home.
That is very true. I'd never heard of them before the draw.
Yep.
And they beat us. Time to get into the player ratings. Got A.F.C to help me out with it today. He can do one. I'll do one. Let's start off with, I'll go the first one. Ospina. Oh, I don't know, man. Did he have a chance with either of the goals? I think somebody was saying to me the first goal was actually an own goal.
To be honest, it was put. Both goals were put right in the corner. I don't really think he had much of a chance with them. I don't think they were his fault.
I'll give Ospina a 6 on the night. Hector Bellerin?
1. What? No, I'm not just saying that, Robbie.
1?
Robbie.
That's a bit harsh.
No, Robbie. What did he do? I'll ask you.
There was a couple of occasions where he put in a couple of decent crosses where there was nobody really in the box on the end of it. I did think in the first half, both fullbacks.
I don't know his name, but that striker was getting the better of him.
Both fullbacks were all over the place.
The
1. You told me before this you weren't going to be too harsh.
I'm not gonna, no, but because the thing is that, okay, I'm going to be now realistic with Bellerin. When he first came on the scene, he was amazing. He was one of my favourite players. The last 12 months, he has slacked off quite a bit. And you'd expect him, because he's one of the senior players in this Europa League team, you'd expect him to stand out, to take control of the game. But he just didn't do that. I mean, it's understandable if someone like Maitland-Niles or someone like that, or Holding or Chambers, struggled. But Bellerin, it's like, I really don't want to be harsh on him, but I'm just...
You just gave him 1.
1 is harsh, but... I'm just being realistic, Robbie.
Okay, listen, it's you're entitled to your opinion, as we say.
I'm sorry, but yeah.
Bloody hell. You're trying to put me in more problems here with Bellerin, aren't you? 1 for Bellerin, he says. I think that's a bit harsh. But Chambers, I thought Chambers had a bit of a poor game today. If Bellerin got 1, I mean... I don't think Bellerin was the worst player on the pitch.
He wasn't.
But I think your 1 was too harsh. I'll give Chambers a 3. I thought he was poor tonight.
Okay, I would have given him a 4.
Rob Holding?
He also was struggling. I'd say, I don't want to be too harsh now, so I'd say maybe a 4 or 5.
You got to give 1.
5.
You give Bellerin a 1 and you give him a 5.
Yeah, because...
You sure you want to review that Bellerin thing? Come on, man. How can you give...
No, Robbie, see. Maybe I'm talking a bit of annoyance from the other day. I mean, we all are. Come on, let's be honest. But, Robbie, what I'm saying is that Holding is still young. He's inexperienced. He's learning the trade.
Bellerin's only 22.
No, but Bellerin's been in the first team since Jan 2015. Holding has only been in the first team since...
So 5 for Holding?
Yes.
All right. Kolasinac would have got a very low mark off of me, but he scored a goal. That was a vital goal that he scored, and he props up with some very important goals, and for that I'm going to give him a 5. So 5 for Kolasinac. Mohamed Elneny.
4. Maybe 4 or 5.
It's harsh. I thought he was probably the best player.
Robbie, it wasn't enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't...
It's hard.
Robbie, look. We lost to... Okay, no, I'm trying to say this in the nicest possible way. We lost to a team who is maybe championship.
Yeah, but it wasn't just him. He played all right, though.
He did, but he's, as a centre midfielder, you expect him to control the midfield, him and Wilshere, and they just didn't do that. Second half, they all improved, don't get me wrong. But the first half, no. They were giving passes away.
4, you say?
4 or 5, I'll give a 5.
5, all right. 5 for him. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, I thought... Very disappointing. I said Maitland-Niles. Shush. Right. Right. Maitland-Niles. Yeah, that's what I said. What's up with this Claude? Right. Yeah, I thought he was disappointing today. He got substituted at half time. I don't know if that was purely tactical, but he just seemed to be strolling around too casual. And this guy, I think he's going to be a top player.
Yeah, he's got potential.
But I was disappointed with the attitude of where he just assumed that Östersunds were going to be useless. That's how it seemed to me. Maybe I'm being wrong. I think he can do better than this. We all wanted to see him in a central position, but I felt a bit let down by him tonight because I've been pushing and saying, let's see him there, and he didn't deliver. But like you said, quite rightly, he's a young player, so we've got to give him a chance. I'll give him a 4 tonight. So
can I just say something about him? I think in the left-back role, he's looked better.
But that's we've all been saying we want to see him playing centrally, and he disappointed.
In the left-back position, he has looked better this season. When he's played left-back, he's been all right.
He's a great prospect, but
he's been good, yeah.
On tonight's performance, it weren't great tonight. Yeah. Mkhitaryan.
It was probably his... Well, he's only played 3 games so far, but this was probably his worst game.
Very sloppy, wasn't he?
4.
4 for Mkhitaryan. Can't argue with that. Jack Wilshere. Again, I don't think it was his greatest of games tonight, Jack, but he had a couple of good driving runs on that in the game. But by his high standards, not his greatest game. I'm going to give Jack Wilshere a 5. Alex Iwobi.
I don't want to be too harsh. I'm just thinking maybe a 3.
3.
Okay.
Can't argue with that.
Iwobi was, yeah.
Again, his confidence is gone because he got into a couple again to... You know what?
Iwobi and Welbeck. Okay, I know.
The annoying thing about Iwobi, right, is that you get the ball and he can drive at players. I love players that can do that, and he can drive at players and go past them like they're not even there. But it's just the end product at the moment. I don't know if it's a confidence thing or whatever, and then he just gets sloppy, and then the crowd gets on his back, and I don't know. It's annoying because I think this guy has got it in him to be a top player.
Do you know what the most frustrating thing is? When Bellerin first came on the scene in Jan 2015, for 2 years he was wow. He was one of the best right backs in the league, and his form has dipped. Iwobi came on the scene about March 2016. Remember when we played Everton away, and he was really, really good. He was stand out the pair. And I remember at the Emirates, 2016 October when he played Swansea, he ran the show that day. And that day I came out saying, this guy is a great prospect. But the reason why I'm rating them so low, Robbie, is because they've got such good potential, but they're not living by it. Yeah. That's the only reason I'm doing that. I'm just want them to live up to potential. It's so frustrating watching them. And games like this, you expect them to say, Iwobi, the likes of Iwobi and Welbeck, all right, we want to be in this first team.
Missed opportunity by both
we want to be in this first team, but they're not proving it. And Welbeck as well. Welbeck was...
Well, I'm moving on to Welbeck. Welbeck. Well, shall I give it over to you, Welbeck?
No, you do this one.
I'll give it to you. I'm interested to see what you give him.
I actually I'm feeling guilty giving.
You gave Bellerin a 1.
I know Bellerin was better than Welbeck, but I'm just,
Bellerin 1. I think you need to revise that.
Right,
you know what I mean? And it's not even nothing to do with the whole. I thought you was too harsh with that one.
All right, Bellerin, you get a 3. All right, you get a 3.
It's still harsh.
No, Robbie.
So Bellerin
gets a 3 because he's a senior player in the team. Bellerin gets a 3 and Welbeck gets a 2.
Okay. Can't argue with that. Welbeck had a bit of a nightmare tonight.
He hasn't.
His confidence is gone at the moment.
He's not improved since he joined from United.
He's had a lot of injuries and stuff like that.
But for him, remember he was getting in the England team a lot, and I remember when he first joined,
starring for England.
When he first joined, he played about 5-6 England matches in a row, and he was getting man of the match and stuff.
Scoring goals for fun.
And since then, he has not taken a
injuries are setting back, and his confidence is low. Let's hope he can return back, but it was poor tonight from him. Moving on to the substitutes, Granit Xhaka came on, solidified it a bit.
Yeah, he was all right. He was all right today. He wasn't sloppy. I think 5 or 6, maybe 6.
Yeah, I think
he was all right. Xhaka was all right today.
6. Willock came on, keeps falling over, slipping over. I don't know. Somebody said next to me he must have his trainers on. Then he changed his boots. But to be fair, he did okay when he came on. Standard 5. Reece Nelson came on in the 92nd minute. Had no time to do anything, so all you can do is give him a 5. We always rate the manager, we rate the fans. I'll give those over to you today. Manager.
All right. He picked the right team because this was probably one of the best. It wasn't a weak team he picked. He didn't pick. He didn't start with like the young players like Nelson, Willock, but the result was poor. So you've always got to mark that ratings. Maybe because for the result, maybe probably a 4.
4. Can't argue with that. We lost the game. Östersund, I actually should be lower for me. This is Östersunds. We're through. We did the job last week. Ratings high for last week. But for today was poor, but you go 4. And the fans today, the ones that were here.
Gosh. They deserve lower than Bellerin. The fans deserve lower than Bellerin.
You know
Yeah.
I agree with you. You know what I mean? It's all right us as fans to criticise players and criticise that. We got to play our part as well.
I wasn't a good fan today. I really wasn't behind it. No, I wasn't.
It was so quiet today. It was
empty
there was
seats, quiet.
people haven't turned up, can't be bothered.
Fans get the 1 today.
And you know what? And then we as fans, you know, we need to look at ourselves sometimes, right? Because then we as fans are going to go have a go at this player, that player. You didn't put the effort in. We didn't put the effort in tonight. I agree with you. Fans low tonight. What do you give them?
1. It's true, Robbie. Look, empty seats. I'd say maybe 60% of the stadium was full. Around me, there were so many empty seats. I'd say we were quiet. I'd say we never got behind the team. And obviously, we were frustrated with the team. Fans were 1 today.
Okay.
But hopefully, on Wembley, we need to be 10.